Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. We are at a live studio audience. Yep. So everybody, give a round of applause. You got that theme ending, that music ending, and that clapping fading out of existence, fading out of nowhere. So a lot of people have been asking, as in a lot of people know, studio audience. So why I say that? Whenever it's just me and Zane, just kind of hanging out, that's what I want to say. Just be like, live.
It's good.
How's your weekend? Because we're recording this on Sunday, and this will go up on Friday.
It was... What did I do Friday? I felt like I did, nothing Friday. So, Friday, I didn't really do much. So, I mean, it was good. It was fine. Let's think, sorry. Saturday, it was really fun. My friend Cole invited me out to go to a lake where his parents have property, and so we stayed out there, we went boating, we, canoed at, 1 a.m. It was incredible fun, but I literally got, 9 different mosquito bites, on my legs, on my back, literally 3 on my butt cheek. And so, besides that, it was fun. And then today, I came home from Medical Lake, and then Logan came over, and we just kind of hung out.
Yeah, we had a little experience, but I don't want to get into that now. We're going to get into that a little bit later.
No.
So, stay tuned for that. Alright, get ready for this commercial break. Okay, just kidding. My weekend was fun. What I did is, I went to, I didn't do anything Friday. But Saturday, my dad was just like, "Hey, get up. We're going to the lake." No, he was like, "We're gonna go over and see your Uncle Brett." And so this is my dad's brother, actual brother, who we saw him last year. We're just trying to make it consistent, so every year we'll see each other. So I had no idea about this.
About you going to see your
uncle. I woke up. I literally just woke up. My dad comes down. I was
wait. This is your uncle that you had no idea that you were going to see, right?
No, for the day. I knew who he was, but I didn't know I was going to go see him.
Okay.
So, I went down. So I woke up. It was 9 something, and I just pulled up my phone. I was just all right, well, I'll listen to some music. I was kind of bored. I didn't want to get up and physically move around. But my dad comes over, and I thought it was my brother, and he was like, hello? Because my brother was playing a game, and so the music that I was listening to was bit kind of stuff. So it was 8-bit music and stuff, kind of old retro stuff. But we were talking, and he was just he was get up. He was we're going. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to see your Uncle Brett. And I was like, what? And he was like, didn't you know we're gonna go see your Uncle Brett? Today we're gonna go to the river. And I was like, okay. He was like, I didn't know about this. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He was like, oh, really? I told you. And I was like, Dad, you didn't. Sorry. And he was like, oh, my bad. And so, yeah, we went. I recorded some stuff. I want to make a little video of it, but it's I only got I'd say a minute of footage. And so there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's D23, which is the Disney equivalent of Comic-Con. Disney's Comic-Con. It's their own kind of panel. We got Avengers. We got some Avengers stuff there. We got a lot of stuff going on. I want to talk about Incredibles 2. So, I have personal problems with it, but, so I guess I'll kind of, figure it off. So, all the cast is coming in there, except for Dash, since Dash is a grown adult. They are just they're recasting him as if, he never grew up. And this is taking place right after the first movie. So, I guess, what are your thoughts on it, Zane? I'm a little bit peeved, but
I don't know. So here's my thought is it makes sense why they're doing it.
No, yeah, I get it, yeah.
Because I feel that there were other Pixar movies that left off on a cliffhanger and didn't just go off that. So I feel like that there's a lack of creativity there.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some sort of like, oh, we'll just do it this way, you know, and I just feel like there's zero effort there.
So,
not in a bad way. Pixar has made some amazing movies.
And they've also made some pretty okay, not great films, too.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like this. I'm like, what? Like, I want to see Incredibles 2. I want to see the
I mean, I'm definitely going to pay for it.
Yeah, is that the Underdwellers? Is that what they're called? Or something like that?
The Underminer. So,
yeah,
they basically had a game after the movie, and it was, like, basically for the Underminer. It was like, hey, it was like Underminer attacks. So that game does not count, like, it's not canon. But it was like, but what the equivalent of the first movie was, the ending was to show that, hey, we're back in the hero business.
Yeah.
And so my personal problem is that this whole second movie is just going to be, oh, we're going to fight the Underminer, then that's stupid. Like, we already kind of saw that. That's already a game. Like, what's the actual point of, like, doing that? Again, so here's what I wanted from Incredibles 2. I don't know if you wanted this, but this is, like, super, like, detailed and stuff, but I wanted all these characters to get older. You know, like Bob and whatever her name is, Elastigirl, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, both retired. Like, they're basically like Batman from Batman Beyond. They're like Bruce Wayne, kind of like that guy in, like, the shadows. He's basically Alfred and stuff. But, like, you basically do that for Dash. Dash is like this guy who's like, I want to be a superhero. Like, I love my powers, you know, he's a sports guy, all this stuff, and, like, he's having fun. Meets a girl. Girl's a part of the villain. Like, he's like the villain's daughter or whatever. And so my personal problem is, so what I want then is that Violet is she's an adult. She's married that guy at the end that she had a crush on. They have a kid, and now this is actually serious, because in the first film, it was like we don't know if Jack has any powers, and it's like, of course he's gonna have powers. He's freaking super. Like, you know, he's got freaking super parents. So of course he is. But, like, in this movie, it's like serious. Like this is actually like a non-super and a super, both having a kid. So this is kind of like, it's kind of uncommon. You could say, like, you could basically just be like, it's uncommon to have.
Yeah, and I mean, like, were you thinking that kid would be super too?
I don't want that kid to be super. My personal thing is like, so I watched Hotel Transylvania 2, and my personal problem, it was like basically just saying, hey, you don't have to be a superhero, you don't have to have powers to be loved, you know, and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, that's a great meaning, but then they ruled it out with the whole, oh yeah, but he's got powers though, so, you know, they love him even more. It's like, oh, well, what if he didn't? Like, it'll definitely show, like, kids who was like, oh, hey, I'm not like my parents, I'm not gonna be like my parents, but they still love me anyway. But, anyway, it's just kind of like, it's like Jack, but it's actually, like, more, like, at stake.
Okay.
Like, you know, he wants to be super and stuff. Like, he's actually, like, you know, he's, like, dressing up, you know, like, maybe, you know, and it's just kind of, like, this cool, that's just kind of how it'd be. What I was thinking, like, the villain could be Bon Voyage. They could bring him back, but he's, like, a little bit older, you know, he's got a daughter, and that's who's Dash's love interest. Dash is kind of like the older, like, he's kind of like an older brother, like, really, you know, like, kind of like the loving older brother who's like, I can stand you, you're a little bit annoying, but I love you no matter what. And, like, he's kind of, like, trying to help him, like, figure out his powers, because, like, you know, he's got, like, a crap ton of unknown powers, you know, he's got, like, well, he's got all those powers, and he doesn't know how to control them, so he can teach him how to control them. And it's like there's so much creative range with this film.
Like potential there?
Yeah, like in the first film, it's like, so basically, the director, he basically had all these characters. He gave all these characters different kinds of, like, all these, like, their personalities, like a teenager, you know, they're kind of, like, quiet, they want to be, like, invisible. Dash, he's, like, a kid, he wants to be, like, energized, you know, like, flowing with energy, you know, he's, like, always moving, all this stuff, you know. A little child, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, mom's got to be flexible, dad's got to be strong, like, that was their powers. And I think, like, you can definitely, like, you can be more freaking creative with that. And And so at the end of the film, it shows that, hey, heroes are outlawed, and they're back now. And when you start off the film as like, oh, hey, guess what? Now you guys are going to take out this guy. It's like, okay, well, I guess there's no, like, creativity that you guys are going to put in this now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a... I don't know. I think that there is definitely potential for expansion within that, universe. Like...
Especially with, like, superhero movies now, what is the movie? Like, like all the Marvel films and stuff, how they're freaking out about, destruction and all this stuff. It's like these films can definitely do it. Like, the Incredibles can definitely do it. I was not a big fan of Finding Dory, and, Finding Dory was just the same as the last one. And that's with a lot of sequels. And I know a guy who worked on it, and I don't hate him for doing it. I love everything about it. I don't like the story, but I like the characters. I think the characters are great. I like all the animation styles and just kind of how everyone moves and things like that. But it's not for me. And the story's it's just bad, and I can't get over the story. I just don't want them to mess up this movie either. I don't want them to ruin this, because this is something that not only I enjoy, like The Incredibles, this isn't a film that I only enjoy. This is something that my family, my parents, even my dad's not a cartoon guy, but he loves this stuff. If they ruin this, it's gonna be over, basically. I'm just a little bit worried. Okay. That's all.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that you're
We're gonna go to another commercial break. Bye-bye.
Shrek, rated PG. Starts May 18th everywhere.
Are you tired of your wife? The hooker-up hooks up anywhere. In your car, in your bed, even on your couch.
So, I want to talk about the Avengers. Oh, yeah, cool. You're dead. Oh my gosh, you're so dead. Oh, sorry, Zane got hit by a Lux cannon. No, but, so, I want to talk about the Avengers. We saw a leaked trailer. Beautiful as it was. This girl's head was in the way, so we couldn't really see a lot of it, but I mean, we watched it illegally.
It looked good.
I am so excited for it.
It looked so good, man.
So, a lot of comic book people that I watch online, I always say, I'm friends with, but it's that's never true. But what happened, basically everyone that's kind of saying it is no one's going to be ready. No one's going to, physically be able to understand what happened until after the film. And I don't think that that's necessarily true, but I can definitely see where they're coming from, especially if this was just part one.
Yeah.
If this was on, because originally there were going to be 2 parts. If this was just part one...
No, it's still 2 parts.
No. It's just one movie.
One, gigantic...
3-hour... Probably 2, but yeah, a really long movie. If this was 2 parts, I definitely could see a lot of people being holy crap, what the hell did I just watch? And not being able to understand. But in a one film, I cannot see people being thinking about that for a freaking whole day. And maybe I'm just not up to that level yet. But
I think the build up, to this moment
has been amazing.
Has been hyped. So it's I literally if they split it up into 2 parts, let's just say, even if they stick with what they originally said back forever ago, if they stick with that, then I might just be a tiny bit upset,
What do you mean?
2 parts, because then I'm gonna go home unsatisfied.
Yeah, but I mean still, it's definitely going to yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I mean imagine it as in you are going to be blown away by just Thanos gets all the chaos emeralds.
This is
Chaos gets all the chaos emeralds and masters the power of the chaos. Chaos control.
Sorry, that was my shadow. That was my shadow impression. Please don't tease me.
Don't touch it.
Please don't tease me. I'm very sensitive, but I think it's going to be very intense. I am excited to see.
I just feel that there needs to be more. I feel
I want so much more. Like, but we can't, which sucks. I want so much more from everyone. I want like everyone to be on there like forever, but it's just not gonna happen. Like, I'm just so thrilled that I was able to live through this, and like be able to like be born, and be able to like watch these films and like understand what's going on. Because I remember growing up, when like the first Avengers came out and they like showed the after credit scene, it was like Thanos. I was like, oh, Hellboy's gonna be in. I thought it was Hellboy for a second, and so I was so excited. My uncle, he's this big comic book geek. I'm a big comic book nerd now, but I remember I was like, he was like, oh, you watch? I was like, you watched the end credit scene? And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I was like, who do you think it is? And he's like, oh no. He was like, oh, who do you think that is? And I was like, oh, I think it's Hellboy. I'm so excited for Hellboy to be in. I love Hellboy. And, but I wouldn't say Hellboy, because I wasn't allowed to say hell, because, like, my parents were like, that's a bad word. So I'd be like, it's H-word boy. I can't wait to see H-word boy in the word. It's very funny, but, so, he was like, no, Logan, that's Thanos. And I was like, oh. Okay. And I had no idea who Thanos was, I was like, oh, that's cool. Thanos. And I had no idea who that was. And I mean, like, I probably had, like, a better understanding of Thanos than, like, most kids, like, growing up during that time. I don't know, and, like, maybe, like, nerds, but, like, kids my age probably didn't know the same, like, know who Thanos was, like I did. Like, I didn't know a lot, but what I'm saying. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting. I've been like, dude, I can't wait for Thanos. Thanos is gonna freaking destroy everyone. I'm excited to freaking see everyone. And there had been a lot of rumors before that, like the Guardians of the Galaxy were going to be like together and all that stuff. And I'm just so glad to see them all together.
I think it'll be my favorite part is like you got Spider-Man. You got
Spider-Man back.
Yeah, no. So you got Spider-Man, you got Iron Man. They're just all together. Like the chemistry. Guardians of the Galaxy is so funny. And so it'll just be awesome to see, Star-Lord interact with
Tony Stark.
Yeah, like
and see how they kind of like see their chemistry. How do you think that's going to work? Like, you think they're going to be like good, bad?
I think Tony will have to stop being, for lack of a better word, cocky.
He's such a though. Like, I don't know if Star-Lord's kind of a douchebag. Like, he's like, I don't think like he is like, he's not that like big of a douchebag as like Tony Stark is.
Yeah.
But like, they definitely have like some kind of like, I definitely can see them having like a chemistry. I'm excited to see all the team ups. I'm excited to see everyone just kind of be like, hey, it's me. But then after this, I'm worried that it's not going to be like as good. I'm worried because, I'm worried about Infinity War because the guy who's working on Guardians of the Galaxy is not the same person who worked on Guardians of the Galaxy. Infinity War, so Joss Whedon? No, that's the guy who was working on the Avengers originally in Justice League, but he's not on anymore. The guy who's on whatever. I'm just so like worried that it's gonna be, like crap. Like their chemistry is just not gonna be good, and it's gonna be. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Alright, well, I want to get into some Justice League, and then we'll get into some other stuff, because I'm like so interested in everything. It's like San Diego Comic-Con just came out, and it's like freaking everything's coming out, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of the Justice League. So.
I'm like a big fan of Green Lantern. Like, after that movie, I was a little boy, and I was like, I love Green Lantern. I didn't know he was this bad. I've seen a lot of people like this on Green Lantern, and it's so true though. Like, I don't get pissed off at people like just like hating on like other like comic book stuff, because I'm like, it's whatever. Like, I can see you, like, I know where you're coming from and all this stuff. It's like, I think like the one thing that I see is like people are like, it was like, why would you want to be Green Lantern? Green Lantern is the gayest superhero ever. That guy wears a freaking ring that can do whatever can basically summon whatever he wants with his mind. That is the gayest thing. Like, no, and I'm like, I never thought of it like that. but that is very, very true. But I am the trailer for the Justice League came out, a new one, and I'm actually kind of the same amount of excited. Like, I'm not like, I'm just worried that it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it will be, but I hope, like, I think, like, the one problem with Wonder Woman for me, and this is, like, a nitpick, but it was just, like, I didn't like how, like, funny it was. Like, I've just been so conditioned with, like, all of, like, everything DC-wise has just been so dark and gloomy and gritty and all this stuff that I've just, like, every time I think of a DC thing, it's like, oh, hey, this has to be serious. And it's hard for me to think that, hey, this has got to be, you know, like, this is going to be funny and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to think that, but I'm excited for Justice League. Batman, I'm kind of a little bit irritated because, like, Batman's not a funny guy. Like, Batman, he has, like, some jokes, you know, but he's not like this comedy relief, like, that's kind of in, like, the movie. And so, like, Superman's like a good guy. He's not really, like, portrayed great in the in the Man of Steel or just in the Justice League in the DCEU. But I think everyone that's kind of been in, I'm just worried that it's going to be, like, a little bit too funny. You know, it's going to be a little bit lighthearted, more lighthearted than usual. I'm just like,
I don't know. Here's my thing. I hate how DC keeps trying to be Marvel. Because
that is my problem.
Marvel has its own little chemistry. And by the way, the Marvel characters, the people that they picked out, were meant to be sarcastic and were meant to be funny and jokingly. But there's still some cool parts to it.
Yeah,
like, you know, spoilers if you haven't seen Civil War. You know, this is your chance to, you know, get off this podcast and go watch it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. There's this part where Spider-Man, Tom Holland, references while he's fighting, I think it's Ant-Man, the Star Wars.
Yeah,
and that was just funny. And it was like, you know, he doesn't know what's really going on, and he's making all these references, and Tony's like, yeah, you're doing such a great job, and he's like, yes, and it was just funny, you know?
It's why Tobey Maguire was not a great fit for Spider-Man. It's because Tobey Maguire only had that face of, like, a child, of like, you know, like a little nerd and stuff. He didn't have the quips, he didn't have a lot of those things, unlike what, you know, Tom Holland has. And so what I think with a lot of the DC films is they're like, oh, hey, we're just going to try to get a lot of guys, and now it doesn't seem to be working because it's like, oh, now since we're getting all these guys, we can just make them funny. It's like, I don't think a lot of, like, Ben Affleck hasn't, like, he's a good guy, you know. I haven't seen him in a lot of funny movies, though. You know, I haven't seen him, like, do a funny movie in a while. I've seen him kind of, like, in serious ones. Like, I mean, like, look at his recent ones. They're kind of serious.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just worried that it's just going to be like, hey, we're going to try to make it funny, but then it just doesn't work. Like, that's just my fear. But anyway, it was good. I'm excited. Any of your last thoughts?
I mean, for the Justice League, not really. I just hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
That's honestly my, like, big thing, and it's really, you know, because I don't want to spend. This is gonna sound awful. I don't want to spend money in a movie that sucks. You know, it's just that. So that's it.
Okay, so today when I went over to Zane's place, here, give me a minute. I'm gonna play some ASMR. You like that? It's really good. I'm gonna eat this thing right now. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, alright, getting back on serious topic now. I'm gonna pull this out and suck on it. I'm gonna have to hear this earlier. I'm gonna be like, nah.
No.
Okay, but so me and Zane, I spent the night over at Zane's house, messing around. We're watching. We're watching some Sonic 06.
No, you are. I mean, you said you did. So
You are watching Sonic 06. We're watching Sonic 06.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying our time. And we're like, hey, let's go film. So we go out. Like, alright, lol. And so we go out. Go over by some Rosars, some by abandoned place. And what happens is that we decided to so we came back. I was like, I need some apple juice, and he was like, happy juice is for alcoholics. And I said, no, apple juice, and he's like, oh, understandable. Have a good day, sir. And drove off right next to me.
Nope.
Like in Batman. But
Yep. Just like a
stopped by Walgreens, and no happy juice there. So I cursed out the clerks, and I said, have fun in hell, where there is no apple juice. And they said, will do. And so I walked out, and I was like, all right, well, let's go to Holiday. So we go by Holiday. I get myself some apple juice. I get myself some ASMR food, some Rice Krispies, and I'm sitting there. We're just finishing up and paying my food. I always just say, I'm always like, we're sitting there while we were talking. I'm like, I'm retarded, mentally handicapped. My bad. Sorry, Jackson. But so I was paying for the food, and this guy, this old guy, great guy, nice guy, this veteran, he was like, hey, what would you what would your thoughts be on this? And so we were like, I don't know. And he pitches this idea of a store where you can go in, you can pay for anything you want. You can also get comic books, you can play board games and stuff. But you can also go in, you can play video games online there. Like all the games, like it's online, like online multiplayer, play any game you want. You can get a membership. You can get some like memorabilia, vinyls, all this stuff. And we were like, that's really cool.
So continue on.
Sorry. So we were like, oh, Lamau. We're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. No, like we can go back and forth and just like talk about it, but
okay, yeah. I mean, I don't care. So, anyways, you just continue, and I'll hop on in a sec.
But so it's kind of funny. It's like this clerk, and it's like this old veteran, long-haired dude with a long beard, sitting over there, and he's like, "Hey, here, come over here, come over here, come over here. Take some drugs, sell them to your buddies." Takes out his little coat pocket, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try some?" Pulls out his hands, got drugs all stuck in his arms. He was ready. He was happy. I'm kidding. That was a joke, everyone. I'm kidding. Not all veterans are bad people. I got an uncle. Praise him. But anyway, we were like, oh, we're super down, and these guys, like, they just started going at it. Like, they're just like, yeah, we're totally down for that. And it was just so freaking funny. These guys are just going at it, like, they're just going over some stupid just saying stupid stuff. Like, oh, you can go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, so they, like, started talking about it and how, like, this guy was, like, nailing it. He's like, yeah, there's, like, 4 main consoles, like, PS4, Xbox, and then PC. But this guy was like, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was like, so he goes in and he was like, hey. He was like, yeah, I was thinking of the main markets, the console games. And he says console games specifically. He's like, yeah, I was thinking of the main console games. You got the PlayStation, you got the Xbox 360, and there's another one. It's on the tip of my tongue. And the clerk's like, PC. And he's like, no, not PC. And he's like, and he's freaking out at him. And he's like, what is it? And he's like, The Quirks had it. He's like, I'm done, dude. I don't want to work with you anymore. He's like, look, he's like over the counter, and there's like no one in here, so it's fine. It's fine. Like it's not like he's not working or anything. But this guy, he's leaning over, and he's like, puts his finger like down, P, puts it right next to it, C. He's like, and the guy was like, he's like, no, that's not it. You're wrong. And he's like, and they're both like bickering back and forth. They're like, no, it's PC. And he's like, you're thinking of the consoles. And he's like, no, I'm thinking of the games. And Zane butts in. And he's like, yeah, like like Halo and all this stuff, like Halo. And he was like, yeah, that's what I mean.
So apparently he was talking about console-specific games, like Microsoft has Halo and
Sony has Uncharted.
Yeah, it's that stuff, but. He's like, there's another one. And my thing is, I'm like, what?
And I was like saying, Nintendo? Like the Switch? And he was like, no, we could try though. So I was like, oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, okay.
We're going to get into this a little bit. We're going to get into a little bit more.
Okay.
Come up though. So we're still going off about like we're still talking about like what the place is going to be like. He's like, what do you think there should be? And we're talking about games and stuff. What we want to see there. And this guy, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, we go into like virtual consoles, and he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about like, wouldn't you think it'd be like cool, like virtual consoles, it's like like you can just like move around in there. Like I think it's kind of stupid that you can't right now. Like there's gotta be like the technology.
Oh, you mean virtual reality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zane and this guy start like ganging up on him. So this guy was just like quivering down. He's like, I don't even want to have this conversation anymore. I could tell he was just like, I'm done. Like I get it now. Quit talking down to me, everyone.
Not in a bad way. He like had no idea what he was talking about.
I don't think any of them did.
Yeah,
I don't think any of them
probably
truly had an idea of what was going on.
He's like, yeah, I've been in computers for blah blah blah.
No, yeah.
So like
the veteran was like, yeah, I've been studying computers. For about 10 years or so. He was like, I majored in computers and design. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Okay. Here, I gotta butt him for a second. So we start talking about like the the clerk's like yeah like it could be an arcade, and so he's like no, and he's like yeah.
So he was asking like what would you want to see, and we're like, oh, I kind of want to see like an arcade.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one wants to go see an arcade, and I was like, and he was like. Kirk was like, yeah, well, I mean, like, got some people over there that, people just love to play some like Mrs. Pac-Man. I was like, yeah, whenever my brother goes to Thrifties and whatever, and whenever I take him, he freaking always tries to beat the high score, and he's like, yeah, but, like, no. And I was like, all right. And so Zane butts in. You can go ahead now.
Yeah, so I butt in, and I'm like, yeah, if you didn't know, there's, like, some, Raspberry Pis, which are like if our listeners don't know, like they're just tiny little computers that are meant for like beginner programming, and there's this thing called RetroPie which you can install, which you can run an arcade on. Like that, people have built like physical arcade machines that they just run it on. So they put in a Raspberry Pi, they put the software on it, they put all the games on it, whatever, or a game, and they just build a case and get a TV and really just call it good, and so I was like, yeah, they do that, and he's like, oh no,
not Narkesia.
And so he's like, I just build my own circuitry. I'm like,
it was very confusing because this guy was like in my I'm not like. I don't know anything about this guy. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not saying, like, he could be wrong, and all this stuff. But this guy, like, I could tell, like, he was a storyteller. And by storyteller, this guy was just like, I know everything, and I am everything. Like,
I am everything.
He is everything. So, like, no, like, he's literally the embodiment of the world. He's literally, like, known every game. Like, he's helped out in every game because he's, like, in the army and stuff. I don't know if this is true or not. Because, like, I'm not trying to be like a douche and just be like, oh, hey, well, he's lying, because I don't know. But it was very kind of like, it was very reminiscent of like, oh, hey, this is, like, this guy's just kind of like saying like stuff. He's just pulling stuff out of freaking thin air. Yeah. Just being like, I know this stuff. Like, that's what I got from it. He could be completely, he could just be, he could be a little jokester. He's having fun. He's not, he's not, like, maybe he did do that. I don't know. What I'm worried about is that, like, maybe in the future we're going to be working for him.
Yeah.
Like, if this does work out, and I do believe that he was in the military and that he does get money from the, like, from the government for freaking all this stuff. And if he does make this, because, like, he basically was just like, yeah, I can definitely see you guys working for us.
Yeah.
He's just like, I need you guys to basically just say, hey, think of some names and all this stuff. But it was just very weird.
It was, I don't know, I felt, for sure, like...
I felt offended, I felt attacked, physically attacked.
He was saying, like, yeah, I was part of the development team for World of Warcraft, and he kept going back to the idea that all these projects that he worked on was for the military. And
no,
like,
okay, well, no. The World of Warcraft was, like, made for, like, military. I don't know this. This might be true. Like, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I
Here, hold on. We're gonna do some research, and then we'll get back to you real quick. You won't even know we're... So I didn't see... So we just kind of looked.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything kind of saying about it. I looked on Wikipedia, but I mean, like, as far as I know, he could be right or he could be wrong. Who knows? It's still a mystery.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we should probably hire the Scooby Gang to...
Definitely have the Scooby Gang, get them in here.
Yeah.
Who was that other character? He was like, it was like, Scooby-Doo, stupid Scooby-Doo or something. It was retarded Scooby-Doo. Except it was like, his name was something like that. But it's
Scrappy-Doo?
No, it's a different guy. It was a different person.
Who was it, man?
It was someone different, but anyway, it was a little bit like, this guy was just kind of like a storyteller. It's whatever though.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if we got to work for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Scooby Dumb. That's what his name is. Scooby Dumb.
Scooby Dumb?
Not retarded. Scooby Dumb. They got rid of him though, because it was like, they're making fun of retarded people. Nah, this is what he looks like though. It's disgusting.
Did you pause it?
No, it's still going.
Oh, no.
I strive to be Scooby-Dum now. Oh my gosh, dude. Scooby-Doo's getting freaking laid, bro. Dude, he's got some sick girls, dude. He's got some fire bitches.
Okay.
The term fire bitch is also in terms of a dog, how a female dog is called a bitch. The joke was, in fact, a joke about Scooby-Doo getting some female dogs. So do not feel offended. It was a joke. Bye now.
Alright.
Oh, wow.
Alright, this is going on for 40 minutes right now.
Good God.
Any final words? Okay, here actually. If any of you are listening and you guys are like, hey, I got a name for the thing.
Yeah, no, for the store.
The store. They're trying to figure out a name. We have no idea what the names are. But we will love to hear some ideas. If any of our 4 subscribers, aka us, had any ideas of a name. So if any of you guys stumble upon this, or like, hey, I'm enjoying. I wanna get a little name. I got an idea for this place. Go ahead. I mean, just basically just tweet at me at Phantom Sprite.
Yeah, or tweet at me.
Or at
Pop Tarte. I mean, oh wait, I think it's Zasian Chopstick or something.
Zasian
like that.
Chopsticks.
You put it in the link or whatever.
Yeah, in the description. That's gonna do it for this episode. Zane, you wanna end off with a little hypothetical? Actually, a little improv. We'll do an improv.
Alright. Correct.
So all right, Zane, you're a little boy. A little boy trapped in You're trapped in a store. You're lost in a store. You're trying to look for your parents.
Story?
In a store. I'm a clerk. And I walk over to you. You have no idea. You have no idea where you are. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, like, what I'm...
No, Zane, we're in character. You're a little boy. You're a little boy who's confused. You need home. You need to find your mom and dad.
I cannot find my parents.
What's up, man?
No, my mommy.
Yo, what's up, man? How you been, man?
Like that.
You cool, man? Yo,
No,
dude,
I'm not cool. I lost my mommy.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, like, I don't know what I can do, man. I can pop you in the back of my van, man.
No, can you be my mommy?
Yeah, man. I'll take you, man. I'll take you home, man. I'll breastfeed you, man.
I really like black titties, so it works out.
Yo, man, I ain't black. I'm Jamaican, my man. Different nationalities, my
So
man.
you're brown?
Nah, man. Nah. I'm Jamaican. You know, like Bob Marley. What are you doing, man?
So like you like smoke weed?
Nah, man. Nah. I'm a healthy black man.
Wait, I thought you just said you were black. Hang on.
Oh, my bad. I get a little bit confused sometimes.
I'm going to kill myself.
And that's gonna do it for this episode. That's gonna do it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks everyone for coming out. This live studio audience. Give a good everyone listening, not live. You stupid. Give a good round of applause. Give a good round of applause to everyone. Yes. Okay, we're gonna go now.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for being out here. This live studio. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bye now.